Hi, my name is Brandon, and I'm an alcoholic and addict in recovery. Today I was reading in This Naked Mind by Annie Grace, and she does a great job of drawing a distinction between having a craving for an alcohol or drug and believing that you're actually going to get some enjoyment from taking one. So I want to read what she says about it and then talk about why this is so important to me in my own recovery. She says, believing that you will get enjoyment from a drink is different than having a few cravings. Cravings are normal and relatively easy to deal with. You are changing your entire life, and it may take some getting used to. You might crave a drink in the next few days, months, or even years, but the craving will be small and entirely conscious. So when I have a craving for alcohol or drugs, maybe when things are getting a little overwhelming in life, or I've had a really, really stressful day and feel like a hit of something or a drink would help me come down a little easier, it's very easy for me to see those cravings as a natural part of my brain's reaction to stressful things in my environment, especially after I've conditioned myself for so long in my life to turn to alcohol and drugs for some kind of relief from stress in my life. So I can look at a craving when it comes up and very quickly identify it as something that is natural, something that makes a lot of sense, but also something that I don't have to pay attention to. I can let that craving be, knowing that it's going to pass, because I also have the belief that I do not want to engage in any more drinking or drug use the rest of my life. I don't feel like that's appropriate for me for all of the reasons that I discuss in these videos, and because I know that if I start to use alcohol and drugs again, I'm going to be right back to where I started before I entered recovery. I know that using alcohol and drugs could mean death for me, and that's not the kind of death that I want. It could ruin my family, my life with my family. It could ruin my job. It could ruin my life financially. And perhaps above all of that, it could ruin my mental experience of the world around me and bring me down to my knees to where I physically and mentally just cannot do anything, which was where I was before I went into treatment for addiction. And so I can look at a craving and say, yes, I understand this craving exists, but it has nothing to do with whether I actually want to take a drug or drink some alcohol. They're two different things. The craving is a natural reaction to stress in a conditioned brain. The actual desire to drink for me is non-existent. I have no desire to drink. I have no desire to drug. I don't want to do any of those things because I know the path that it leads down. And so by really making sure that I have a strong understanding and of the way that drugs and alcohol work, how they're going to potentially ruin my life, and using that to really bolster my desire to never engage in them again, I am able to look at cravings as just a passing phenomenon that really don't warrant much attention. And that helps me let go of them. And by letting go of the cravings, then I don't get caught up in their traps, and I can move on with my life. So I think it's a really important distinction to draw. I would encourage anyone who is exploring recovery to do whatever you can to get to that place where you don't have a desire to drink or do drugs, so that you can move past these cravings when they come up, because they will come up. I'm over 2 years sober now, and I do still get cravings. And it's very important for me to be able to, when they happen, recognize, hey, that's a craving. Doesn't change what I want to do. It's just a craving. I just gotta get my mind off of it, move past it, and let it be. By doing that, I'm able to continue successfully on the recovery journey and not get caught up in this false idea that the craving represents a desire. That's it for today. I'll be back tomorrow with more. Have a good one.